Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. So if you are new here, please do not forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We have a lot to discuss today actually. So we are first going to be discussing what Blackrock have said about your portfolio. We are going to be discussing the interest rate announcement, which is tonight, and how that will affect the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many other cryptocurrency assets. And then we'll be taking a look at the general cryptocurrency news, and then we'll take a look at the price of Bitcoin. So we've got a jam-packed stream this morning. Good morning, Kennans. Thank you very much for tuning in, as always. Everybody, welcome people into the chat. Let's get the chat rolling. Let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin here quickly. So we have Bitcoin currently sat at $29,180, down 0.03% within the last 24 hours. So we really have not seen that much movement. The same for Ethereum, only down, Bitcoin is up 0.03% this morning. Ethereum is down 0.28% to 1,850, still within that range. We haven't broken any major levels of support and resistance overnight, still looking at that sideways action, all ahead of that interest rate announcement, which will typically massively affect the prices here. So let's get into today's cryptocurrency news, and then we'll take a look at the markets and see what's going on. First of all, let's take a look at what's been happening here. So this is to do with Blackrock. Now, we all know that Blackrock have filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF. And this has got many, many benefits. If you take a look at the price of gold before and after an ETF launch, you can see that an ETF can really positively impact the price of an asset. So hopefully we'll see a similar effect for Bitcoin and see a nice move to the upside if this Bitcoin ETF does get accepted. Now, it is highly anticipated that it will, but it's not certain. From this, we've seen the BlackRock CEO go from being extremely bearish in 2017, saying that Bitcoin is an index of money laundering, to saying it's an institutional asset, and actually saying here in recent news that we should be holding almost 85% of our portfolio in Bitcoin. So let's take a look at this. This is from BlackRock, and it says, although Bitcoin has an extremely large volatility of 1.322, the pronounced positive skewness leads to large allocations and dominates in the utility function. So this is for high risk portfolio. So when BlackRock do a report like this, they will give the probabilities, all data based. They will give the portfolio percentages that they would allocate to different assets, dependent if you want a low risk portfolio, a mid risk portfolio, or a high risk portfolio. Now, this is the high risk portfolio. However, 84.9% is a huge number. And through their data, through all their analysis, they have come to the conclusion that that is the optimal Bitcoin allocation. So that is a huge number there, and you can see this has got a lot of people excited about the cryptocurrency space. When you've got the biggest asset manager in the world backing Bitcoin and also looking at putting a huge amount of your portfolio towards Bitcoin to have an optimal Bitcoin holding allocation, that is a huge win for crypto. And it's nice to see blockchain and Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency industry getting recognized in this way. So we can see here, if total global wealth is $800 trillion today, Bitcoin would be worth $190 million per coin. Would you hodl all the way to $190 million? Let me know in the chat your Bitcoin price predictions for the next bull market. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm very excited about what's to come. I've just been speaking to the team at Crypto Saving Expert, and we're all very excited to see what's ahead here. So let's see what's going on. Hennett says, I wish the SEC will tell us the day they will either accept or reject the ETFs in advance. So they do have a timeline of how long they can take to accept this information. Now, it is now on the federal documents. You can see that they are currently assessing whether these ETFs can be accepted. It's not just the BlackRock Spot Bitcoin ETF. We've got Fidelity, and we've got about 4 or 5 other major institutions filing for Spot Bitcoin ETFs right now. Now, the SEC have around 45 days to come to some sort of conclusion on this, but they can extend it to 90 days if needed. But we are seeing the timeframes here gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Every single day we are closer to that decision, which in my opinion is highly likely to be an acceptance of these ETFs. And we also are getting closer and closer to that Bitcoin halving in April 2024, which it has historically been very positive for the Bitcoin price. So things are heating up in the cryptocurrency space. Yes, we have seen a slight move to the downside within the last 7 days, but things have looked a lot worse before. We have that when the bear market was really in full swing and we were down at $16,000 and we were seeing Binance and Coinbase getting sued by the SEC. We saw FTX collapse. We saw Celsius collapse. It was just one thing after another that was pushing down the confidence in cryptocurrency. But now what we're seeing is a huge amount of positivity, and you can see them approaching and getting closer and closer and closer. So with that, I'm getting more and more excited for this next bull market. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news. Though we need to talk about the interest rate announcement, because although we may be positive in the long term, we've got some things to consider here, and that is the interest in the US. Now, this massively impacts the price of Bitcoin every single time. So if the interest rate is being announced or the inflation rate is being announced, we could expect to see Bitcoin get very, very choppy on those smaller time frames, on that 1 minute time frame. It goes absolutely crazy. Now, we have seen in an article that we discussed in yesterday's stream that the US Federal Reserve officials warn against declaring an early victory on inflation. So what we've seen in the US is inflation hit a year-on-year high of 9.1% in June last year. And since then, we've managed to get that down to 3%. Now, their target is to get that down to 2%. To get an inflation rate down, what they need to do is increase interest rates. Now, they have been doing interest rate hikes over and over again. They did decide to pause that decision for a period of time, but they are warning that they need to continue to increase interest rates to get that inflation down to that 2% target. So currently, you can see here that the federal interest rate decision, the previous one was at 5.25%. The consensus was 5.5. What we are seeing now is there is a high probability that we are going to see a 25 basis point hike tonight. Now, if we see that, we are continuing to see higher interest rates, and higher interest rates are not something the markets like to see, unfortunately. Higher interest rates mean that people are taking out less loans, people have less money to risk on assets which are considered to be high risk assets like Bitcoin, and therefore it typically negatively impacts the prices of stocks, of cryptocurrencies. So we are seeing those inflation rates come down. We are seeing that we are near the end of these high interest rates, hopefully, but right now we are still in the midst of that, and we are still expecting interest rate hikes for now, but we are seeing, in the next couple of years we are going to start to see that slow down slightly. So there's positivity ahead, even though we may still be in the midst of a disaster. That's what I'm trying to say there. Let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news. Let's talk more about cryptocurrency. And then we'll take a look at the price of Bitcoin and see what else is going on in the markets. But before we continue, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. What we have here is KuCoin to cut its staff count by 30% due to regulatory pressures. Now, we've seen this many times now for centralized exchanges, specifically those that focus their efforts in the US. The SEC has been cracking down on many different centralized exchanges, and because of that, we've seen layoffs, we've seen centralized exchanges focusing their efforts elsewhere. We've seen a massive shift in this bear market. So you can see here the team at Wu Blockchain claims that KuCoin is looking to lay off 30% of its workforce due to regulatory pressures that have reduced the exchange's profits. So let's take a look at this. Last year's crypto winter continues to have a ripple effect on the operation of prominent crypto exchanges, according to the team at Wu Blockchain, and KuCoin is looking to reduce its workforce by almost a third due to the effect of continual regulatory scrutiny on the industry that has led to a decline in the exchange's profits. Now, we can see here this quote here that says, confirmed by more than 3 internal employees, KuCoin has nearly 1,000 employees. The main reason is that the strict KYC policy has launched after being sued by the US, which led to a decline in the exchange's profits. Now, obviously, centralized exchanges mainly benefit from transactions and the transaction fees that we pay. But with these lawsuits that have been flying around in the US with the SEC charging many different centralized exchanges, we've seen a huge amount of withdrawals from those exchanges. We've seen a huge drop in trading volume, and we've seen a huge amount of banks saying they don't want to work with these companies anymore, and market makers leaving some of these platforms. So with all that happening, their transaction fees and their profits they can make is dropping massively. Now, we can expect this in a bear market of cryptocurrency. We always see in a bear market, interest drops. The amount of attention people want to spend and time they want to spend looking at cryptocurrency drops. So people aren't trading as much. Also, when we see sideways action like we have for the last month, people aren't trading as much. When we have that bull market, when we have those volatile price movements, that's when people are trading. That's when the exchanges are more profitable. But when we've had a continued period of downwards movement for over a year, and we're seeing some sideways action, and we're seeing a lack of confidence in the markets, we are going to see the trading volumes for all of the major assets decline. So we see that with a lot of volatility in the cryptocurrency space. It's not just like the other markets where we see bull markets and bear markets, but they are all gradual and we see some slow movements up and down. This is an extremely volatile market, and with that, the amount of profits that cryptocurrency-based companies can make is very, very volatile. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. So Yorkshire Pork says, when is the interest rate announcement? It is at 7 p.m. UTC time, I believe. Let's check that again. 6 p.m. UTC time. I got that wrong, which is 7 p.m. BST time. So that will be, hopefully we will be streaming this actually. So make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to follow us on Crypto Saving Expert Twitter, and make sure to follow that Martini guy on Twitter, which is the Martini guy on Twitter, I think. Oh no, it's Martini YT on Twitter. We might be doing a live stream together at 7 p.m. tonight when that interest rate is announced. So make sure to stay tuned for that. We'll post it on our Twitter profile, but check our channels. I'm not sure what channel that's going to be on yet. But let's continue with today's cryptocurrency news. And while you're at it, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss what's going on in the world of crypto. We do these live streams every single weekday. So good morning, Randy. Thank you very much for tuning in. Crypto exchange, let's check in the chat first of all. KuCoin has been rumored to be struggling financially for about 2 years now, yet somehow have been carrying on strong, cutting down its workforce now that others like Binance are doing the same. Yeah, I mean, as I said, the volatility in cryptocurrency has a massive impact on centralized exchanges and on cryptocurrency companies. So it can be expected that throughout this bear market, which has lasted a lot longer than people expected, we are going to see some layoffs in all areas. But I'm sure when demand increases again, when the markets start to pick up and we see a lot of excitement about the industry again and people want to get involved, we are going to see a big change in that, and that's probably going to flip and they're all going to be hiring once again. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Anyway, let's move on to the next article. BitGet has rebranded. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but there used to be a sort of a line here that turned these into arrows. They've taken it out and they've jazzed it up a little bit, made it a little bit new. It's very similar to the old one, but it is new. Let's see if we can play this. I don't think it's going to have any sound. Click here to play. Let's see what's going on. What do you guys think of the new Twitter logo, by the way? Let's see what's going on here. I don't know if you can hear this. I don't think this is as interesting as I thought it would be. Here we go. That's the new logo. So they've shown how they have the new logo in there. And then there you go. There's the new logo from BitGet, a centralized cryptocurrency exchange. Let me know in the chat what you think is going to happen to the price of Bitcoin in the next bull market. Let's see what's going on here. Hennant says, we'll try to watch family life gets in the way of crypto news. But this is the most important part of your day, JB. Make sure every single day to tune in to Crypto Saving Experts live streams. We talk about the latest cryptocurrency news, and I would say it is very, very important. I'm not biased in the slightest, and I think it's very important. If you stay up to date with the cryptocurrency news and you keep up to date with the prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum and the altcoin markets in general, you have a big chance of really understanding in the long term what's happening in the markets. I find it I think there's a massive barrier for entry for people to get into cryptocurrency and to understand cryptocurrency on a deeper level. And the ways I now suggest to people to get around that is to listen to the news every single day. Just keep an eye on the price of Bitcoin. You'll learn how Bitcoin reacts to different news. You'll gain an understanding of the cryptocurrency space as a whole, its problems and its big wins. And then also, obviously, check out the courses on Crypto Saving Expert, because we have free courses on there that have a structured learning plan that can really help people get into the space built for beginners and for intermediates as well. So make sure to check that out if you haven't already, but make sure to watch these live streams as well. That is a very key point to that topic. Let's continue now on to the next piece of news and see what else is going on. Let's check what's here. So we have Avalanche Foundation unveils Avalanche Vista, a $5 million initiative. So the Avalanche Foundation has announced its commitment to allocate up to $50 million to acquire tokenized assets, company known as Real World Assets. Can't get my words out today. Or tokenized off-chain assets minted on the Avalanche blockchain. Let's see how we have affected the price here at the Avalanche Foundation. I'm expecting this is really positive news here. So if you go to the markets tab on cryptosavingexpert.com, your one-stop cryptocurrency shop, the best cryptocurrency website out there, and let's find Avalanche. Let's see where it is. Number 19 in terms of market cap. Not had a good week. Down, let's see, what did that say? How much was it down? Take a look. Number 19, down 5.32% in the last week. Only down 0.46% in the last 24 hours to $13.19. I would say this is really positive news. It's a shame it hasn't really impacted the price in too much. What we can see here is Avalanche had a high in the bull market in November 2021 when Bitcoin peaked for the last bull market of $151, and it's now trading at $13.18. Now that is a sad move to the downside, but that's what we see in a bear market. I like this. I'm interested in this. Let's see what's going on in the chat. The Middle Journey says, come on, lads and lasses, hit the bloomin' like. Exactly, the Middle Journey. Please don't forget, if you have not already, to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Let's see what else is going on in the markets here, because we do want to get onto the price of Bitcoin at some point. We can see here the UK regulator to examine WorldCoin for potential privacy law violation. So the ICO has taken note of the WorldCoin launch and will conduct further examinations of the project. We did see also yesterday Vitalik Buterin pointing out some concerns with WorldCoin. Now, WorldCoin is a project that has been launched and co-created by the founder of OpenAI, who've created ChatGPT. So there's a lot of hype around this project, a lot of speculation, a lot of excitement. It seems to be the topic of conversation right now on cryptocurrency Twitter, but we are seeing right now a lot of speculation being built in media as well. So I will be dropping the link to this in today's live chat. If you want to take a look at that, you absolutely can do on the best cryptocurrency news outlet there. But let's continue with today's cryptocurrency news and see what else is going on. Again, another great article from the team. What is the blockchain trilemma? How can you have a blockchain that is scalable yet decentralized but has high security? An issue that has been a problem in the cryptocurrency space since it first began, and something that we are really struggling to build in the cryptocurrency space. Still a problem that is ongoing, but it really is an important thing to look at so you can understand the crypto space in more detail. So let's take a look at what else is going on here. KuCoin's CEO dismisses layoff rumors. So after there being that announcement that 33% of the staff is being laid off, he said this isn't true. Now, what does this look similar to? This article looks very similar to when Binance had rumors of layoffs and then CZ said it's not true. Where are all these rumors coming from? They've said they're expanding steadily, but we are seeing layoffs in the news as well. Let's continue with today's cryptocurrency news. Good morning, James. Thank you very much for tuning in as always. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button. The chat is very active today. I love it when the chat is active. You guys help with the stream a lot. Let's see what else is going on here. So Bank of California and PacWest Bank agree to merge. So financially embattled PacWest Bancorp will merge with regional rival Bank of California to a deal that includes a $400 million investment. So let's take a look at this article. The two banks will merge into Pacific Western Bank, but the holding company and bank will remain under the Bank of California name and brand once the deal is completed later this year or early 2024. So the seizure and sale of First Republic Bank to JP Morgan caused jitters in the banking industry, but we are now seeing this merge here. I will put the link to this in today's stream. If you want to take a look at this, you absolutely can do. And while you're on cryptosavingexpert.com, please don't forget to go to the big blue sign up button button at the top of the page. If you create an account there, just fill in those details. Tick that box there as well. If you tick this box, you get access to our newsletter every single Tuesday at 11 a.m. BST time, giving away free alpha. So why not? And then make sure to press that big blue sign up button. You get access to the entire website then, the free courses, the guides, the news, the market data, the encyclopedia, and we are building a lot more behind the scenes as well. So you want to make sure that you're involved in this website. Let's take a look at what else is going on. This is more about Bitcoin analysis now, the good stuff of the stream. Let's see what's going on. So first of all, we have an article here that Bitcoin long-term holder supply hits a new all-time high. So according to Glassnode, which shows on-chain data, we can see that hodling is now the preferred market dynamic among mature investors. And this is something I have to agree with. Trying to outperform the market continuously gets tiring after a while. Long-term Bitcoin holders now control 75% of Bitcoin circulating supply. So nice high number there. A lot of people are looking to be a hodler. A new all-time high of 14.52 million Bitcoin is being held for the long term. So nice win there. And this is the beauty of a transparent blockchain. We can see this and we can analyze how people are trading, investing, and moving their assets. So we can see a big win here. We also have some really, really positive news from Plan B. Now, who remembers Plan B from the previous bull market? This guy predicted that Bitcoin was going very, very high. And when he did, he got a lot of media attention. A lot of Bitcoin bulls were very excited to see Plan B's chart. And then when it failed, he got a huge amount of hate. But what we can see here is a chart that from Plan B's Twitter profile. And he said, Bitcoin is in stage 1, early bull market. Of course, Blackrock wants to buy cheap just before ETF approval and just before stage 2 full-blown bull market. Now, this is something I personally agree with. There are a lot of analysis out there right now. If you want to find someone bearish for Bitcoin, you can. If you want to find someone bullish for Bitcoin, you can. There's a big divide in the cryptocurrency space of what is going on and what's going to happen next. But I'm on Plan B's side this time. I know it didn't work out too well last time, but I think the bear market is coming to an end and we are seeing some excitement. We are only 9 months away from that Bitcoin halving in April 2024. And when that comes, historically, it has been a very bullish signal. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at what's happened in previous cycles. I'm looking at previous market trends, and I'm applying that to the current data and seeing what's in store. I'm not going off the trend. I'm not trying to trade against the trend. I always trend. The trend is your friend until the end. I'm not trying to expect something different this time. Every single time someone says this time's different, this is an exception, it's probably not. That's my opinion anyway. So I try and trade as if we are looking at the previous trends and replicating that. Obviously, things are different. History doesn't repeat, it rhymes. But we see some similarities in the 4-year cycles over and over again. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin and see what is going on here. Now, obviously, on the daily chart, it's not looking too good. We did see that big red candle here. What I would like to say before we analyze the price of Bitcoin here is if you're looking on the smaller time frames, on the half-hour chart, on the 15-minute chart, when that interest rate announcement announced at 7 p.m. BST time tonight, any short-term levels of support and resistance, I delete them off my chart. They're really not of use. What we see when the interest rate announcement occurs is a huge amount of volatility, a huge move to the upside, a huge move to the downside, over and over again for a good 15 minutes. And in that period of time, any levels of support and resistance you have, Bitcoin doesn't care. That's what's happening there. But let's take a look at the bigger time frames and see what's going on. So what we can see for definite is we are in an uptrend on the daily chart. We have had higher lows and we have had higher highs. So at this point, we have not yet broken this trend. We have had a higher high here. Yes, we've had a bit of a pullback, but overall, this is a higher high. To break this trend and see a lower low, we would have to get below that $24,700 level. And we also have to remember that we have this level of support here, which has ran from the start of the year all the way up, and that is currently sat at around $27,700 there. So with that in mind, that's a pretty strong level of support. If we break down below that, maybe I'll start getting more bearish and get more bearish price predictions. But right now, we are still above that. We're in an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, not breaking that major level of support. So I'm trading in that mindset until we break that support. we still have it there. We still have it strong. So we're keeping a close eye on that. Obviously, you have to be, we're trying not to be biased here on the channel, but I am biased to the bullish side all of the time. So we're trying to look at this in a neutral tone. But right now, I mean, things aren't looking great, but we've still got that level of support. We've still got that uptrend, so we'll see what happens. But that is all we really have for today's stream. So thank you very much for tuning in, as always. As I said, me and that Martini guy will be live streaming the interest rate announcement tonight at 7 p.m. BST time. So make sure to keep an eye on both social media platforms of Crypto Saving Expert and of that Martini guy's Twitter, and we will hopefully see you all then. Let's check in with the chat quickly. TF says, running a crypto channel in a bear market is tough. Yes, thank you for that appreciation, TF. If you have not already, please don't forget to like today's video and comment on today's video so you don't miss this and you help us with the algorithm. Make sure to subscribe and press that bell notification button. Anything you could do to help the channel, we would greatly appreciate it. I would also like to say, share the stream with your friends. Get them into crypto during the bear market, and I think they'll thank you later. Let's see what's going on here. The Middle Journey said, I wonder if the bull market starts early. ISO 3x inverted head and shoulders in charts on Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin to $116,000 in 2023. That is an opinion, the Middle Journey, that I wouldn't necessarily back. I mean, everyone has their own opinion. I might be completely wrong. But as I said, I like to follow the trends. I like to follow the 4-year cycles. So with that in mind, I'm not expecting a new all-time high until after the Bitcoin halving which is in April 2024. So I'm looking at around July and August. But as I say, no one knows. Bitcoin takes the path of most pain. It might do something new just to shake things up. Nobody knows. We just have to look at the data and work in terms of probability. But overall, I am feeling bullish, and that's the main thing. Long-term bullish, always. That's what I go for. But anyway, that is all we have for today's stream. So thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I will see you all later this evening for the interest rate announcement. And if not, I will see you all back here on this channel tomorrow morning at around 11 or 12 midday. I will see you all then.